Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. All right, Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, getting your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corbett Coleman. A federal jury has found that the gunman who murdered 11 Jewish worshippers at a Pittsburgh synagogue is eligible for the death penalty. Robert Bowers was earlier convicted of the 2018 attack. The jurors will determine whether he will be executed for the hate crime.
That's weird.
Punishing heat has roasted the Southwest and will now move over California. State officials are warning California's 40 million residents to prepare. From member station KQED, Kevin Stark reports.
Temperatures are expected to climb well above 100, especially in the state's valleys and away from the coast. Officials encourage people to stay cool and hydrated and to use cooling centers if they don't have air conditioning. Heat waves are typical in California summers, but this one could be record-breaking.
You're warning us about something
California's
that's
Natural Resources Secretary, Wade Crowfoot, says extreme heat is the most dangerous of the state's climate-driven impacts.
We know that climate change is supercharging these heat waves.
He says the state's seen an uptick in brush and grass fires, and the heat wave will worsen the wildfire risk. For NPR News, I'm Kevin Stark in San Francisco.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill. The daily oral contraceptive called O-Pill will be available without first needing to see a healthcare provider. And Sydney Lupkin has more.
A progestin-only birth control pill will now be available without a prescription. The FDA approved Perrigo Company's O-Pill on Thursday. The drug substance itself was originally approved for prescription use in 1973, so its efficacy has long been established. Advocates, Perrigo, and the administration hope making it available over the counter will improve access to effective birth control and reduce unplanned pregnancies. A panel of advisors to the agency had voted unanimously to approve O-Pill back in May, saying the benefits outweighed the risks and that labeling alone would be enough for women to use it correctly. Perrigo has not yet said how much it plans to charge for O-Pill. Sydney Lupkin, NPR News.
The UN's Human Rights Office says it has evidence of a mass grave in Sudan's West Darfur region. At least 87 bodies are there. Lisa Schlein has more from Geneva.
The UN agency reports local people were forced to put the bodies in a mass grave on the orders of the Rapid Support Forces. The bodies of women and children were among those buried. Witnesses said local mediation efforts to bury the dead have taken a long time, with many bodies lying in the streets for days on end. UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk condemned the killings. He said he was appalled by the callous and disrespectful way the dead and their families and communities were treated. Turk called for a prompt, independent investigation into the killings and for those responsible to be held to account. For NPR News, I'm Lisa Schlein in Geneva.
On Wall Street, the Dow is up 60 points. This is NPR. A Wisconsin school board has voted to fire a first-grade teacher after she criticized the district on social media. Teacher Melissa Temple spoke out online when she heard her school would not allow students at a concert to sing Rainbow Land by Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton. From member station WUWM, Eddie Morales has more.
One of Temple's tweets suggests the school banned the song because people associate it with the LGBTQ+ community. The school principal, Mark Schneider, says he opted against Rainbow Land because Miley Cyrus is too controversial for first graders. The school chose the Muppet song Rainbow Connection instead, but initially had banned that song as well. Schneider says Temple's actions created chaos and led to threats, requiring a police presence at the school. The district says Temple violated 3 policies, including following chain of command and engaging students on social media. Temple's attorney says they plan to file a lawsuit against the school district. For NPR News, I'm Eddie Morales in Milwaukee.
There is a catastrophic drought in the capital of Uruguay, Montevideo. NASA says satellite images show that the 2 freshwater reservoirs that serve the city have nearly run dry. The Uruguayan government has declared a water emergency. The water that does pour out of Montevideo's public taps is salty. Torrential rain is inundating northern India, and flooding has killed about 90 people. It has also triggered a crisis in parts of the capital, New Delhi, where a flooded river has displaced hundreds of people. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
There's a new way to support this show and public media.
Please consider signing up for the NPR
Amazon.
Plus.
Skip.
In NASA news, NASA will host a pair of news conferences Tuesday, July 25th at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston to highlight upcoming crew rotations and missions to the International Space Station.
Yeah, this was a highlight. We found a rock
NASA
over
will host
here.
a media teleconference at
There's
10 a.m.
samples.
EDT on Tuesday, July 18th to discuss the next science investigations bound for the International Space Station aboard Northrop Grumman's Cygnus spacecraft on the company's 19th commercial resupply mission for NASA. NASA has awarded Axiom Space and Collins Aerospace task orders under existing contracts to advance spacewalking capabilities in low Earth orbit, as well as moonwalking services for Artemis missions. NASA is commemorating the first year of science and discoveries from the agency's James Webb Space Telescope, the largest, most powerful, and most complex space telescope ever built. To celebrate the anniversary, multiple events will take place online and live across the U.S. Media accreditation now is open for the launch of NASA's 7th rotational mission of a SpaceX Dragon Crew spacecraft and Falcon 9 rocket to the International Space Station. In weather. In Seattle, it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. Today, you can look for mostly sunny weather, with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 56 degrees. From NASA. NASA will host a pair of news conferences Tuesday, July 25th at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston to highlight upcoming crew rotations and missions to the...
Off. Amazon, tell us a joke.
How did the dog fix the lamp? She just plugged it in.
So it was a pug dog, huh? Alright. Amazon, tell us another joke.
Where do vampires invest their money? In cryptocurrency.
Aha. Well, that can be good or bad. Alright, everyone, enjoy your Thursday. Stay away from that cryptocurrency vampires. Peace. Love.